Hello, this is Overlord Boat, and we're back with SAT Score, and today we'll be going over the roadmap of 2022 that was covered by Askance and Bogsy. I do love the fact that they're showing us roadmaps over the years. It does help us know what content is coming down, so today we'll be going over that and the return of the Puerto Rico. So let's look what they've already done so far this year. So far this year, they had the Savage Battles, they had the Pan Asian Cruisers, which are now available, and Italian Destroyers are now in early access. And we also have the new nation in the game, which is Spain, and the first representative, which is the Canaries. The Kurfürst and Kaba were replaced in the tech tree line with the Prussian and the Delany, and also the super tips that were tested was the Konda, Annapolis, Sorky, Yamaguri, United States, Eagle, and Satsuma, and Hanover is finished, and they're now added into the respective branches. Also, during the events, they had the Lunar New Year, the Dirigible Derby with the airships, Savage Battles, the Atlantico, which is going on right now, which is a lot of fun for the dockyard, and the visual improvements. The visual improvements to me is definitely one of the best things they've added like over the years with the art department. I love when they add new visual improvements. Definitely spices up. It makes it a lot better for the eye, like eye candy. I definitely love that. The Dirigible Derby was a lot of fun, and so was Savage Battles. I'm hoping they add more of that in the coming years. So let's look at the spring of 2022. But first, before that, we're gonna have a word with our sponsor. Now, this will be a great opportunity to mention this video sponsor, which is Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes covering all different sorts of skills. Skillshare can help you make 2022 a year of new learning and growth and connection through creativity. Have a specific skill you're trying to learn? Skillshare is the perfect place to start. From photography and illustration to graphic design, freelancing, and more. You can find classes that will match your goals. My interest is around YouTube and Twitch, so I enjoy the class YouTube Success, Script, Shoot, and Edit with Marquise Brownlee. It helps me a lot on how to edit YouTube, which helps out the content for you all to enjoy. Now, the first 1,000 people to use the link down below, or my code, which is Overlord Bow, is also on the screen, will get 1 month free trial of Skillshare. Link is in the description down below. Now back to the video. All right, now with the sponsorship out of the way, SAT score, what looks like for the year for the spring of 2022.
So for the spring of 22, we can expect the French cruisers to arrive, and they will come in at update 11.4, starting with the early access to the Tier 8, Tier 9, and Tier 10. So according to the WoWs dev blog and the front page here, they are cruisers armed with large caliber guns, long reload time, but compensated by main battery reload booster. They also characteristic of other French ships. They are capable of achieving high speeds due to the engine boost consumable. They're supposed to be good, well protected against medium caliber AP shells, but they're vulnerable against HE and SAP rounds. And the other thing planned to be introduced is Arms Race. So Wargaming said a while back that they will replace Epicenter with Arms Race, and they're planning to do that pretty soon. So Arms Race will be available only in battles where the highest tier ship is 9, 10, or super ships. And it will only be available on certain maps. And as I said before, Epicenter will be disabled at the same time. Now let's move on to summer 2022.
All right, for summer 2022, they'll be adding in for testing and for incorporating the game is the British battleships. It'll be a new British battleship line that has historical classified as battle cruisers. There'll be the new tier 3 through 6s will be actual ships that are built in real life, and the tier 7, 9, and 10 will be their own pretty much designs. And of course, these new battleships, when they're available, will be in the development dev blog. So if you guys, I'll be having this link for this roadmap in the video's description, so you guys can check that out yourself. Also, what they'll be adding is the game events is the Sea Battle. It's pretty much, if you ever heard of the game Battleship you played as a kid, or now in modern times, it'll pretty much be like a fun little game mode to earn some free rewards or prizes. Very nice indeed for them. It's pretty much, if you remember the little token system they had for the early access of the Pan-Asian cruisers, it's pretty much the same thing as that, but it works this time playing the battleship game. Now, they'll also, in the since the convoy went so well, they will be adding it back in the summer. It'll be doing a 12v12 format with the tiers 8 through 10. So instead of it being the 9v9 that was before, it's now going to be 12v12s with a tier 8s through 10. There will be different maps and map rotations as before. So instead of it just being one route on one map, it can have different routes. This will add a lot of game variety and make it a lot more difficult for attacking and defending. It'll make it more interesting. You'll have to figure out new strategies. It'll be a lot of fun for sure. Now, one of the biggest news from the summer is the return of the Puerto Rico, or the Paytorico, some people call it. Since the first iteration of the dockyard, the Puerto Rico was a very complex situation that went on. That's why it's called the Paytorico. And after that, the Odin demonstrated that the format that they had went very smoothly, and that a lot of people liked that format. So they'll be bringing back the Paytorico, and if you already have the Paytorico, if you pay the bare minimum of the stages, pretty much it's going to work just like any other dockyard ship, where you can pay the bare minimum, grind out the missions, and you'll be able to earn it that way. Or you can pay for extra stages and you earn extra rewards after. But if you already have the Paytorico and you build the Paytorico again, you'll be given an option to select a bundle of the following resources: doubloons, steel, coal, or research points. And the amount of each of these, which you can only pick one, will be enough to obtain any tier 10 ship available to purchase. Which means if you wanted to get yourself a Slava, you just pick the research points, you got yourself a Slava. You want to get yourself an Emelin with coal, you got yourself an Emelin with coal. If you want to get an FDR with steel, you can get yourself an FDR with steel. This is a great opportunity for people that already have the Puerto Rico. I knew some people that aren't super excited about her coming back, but at the same time, this is something, since I have a Puerto Rico right now, I'm very excited for this, because that means that, hey, I get to pick any tier 10 I want. And it's really nice. And of course, you have to pay the bare minimum. I'm guessing it's going to be around $50. I'm guessing is what I'm just taking a rough estimate, maybe like $50 for the doubloon cost. For the stage, it's taking a rough guess. Maybe we'll have to see. Of course, right now we don't have any information on any of those costs. Now let's move on from that to the return of operations. So as we know before, the certain operations were removed due to the aircraft carriers AI being a little wonky in these operations. So what they're doing is they'll be working on the AI aircraft carrier AI, so that they'll be trying to bring back the Cherry Blossom, Hermes, and the Ultimate Frontier back to the game. I never personally got to play these, but I would love to be able to try these out, so I hope they're able to fix this in the summer, because it'll be a lot of fun to play them with viewers or friends just to see how they go. They'll also be adding in personal challenges. If you guys remember before, they had personal challenges for the German early access line, for the I know they had, was SATs, was it for the Elbing early access, or was it for the Schlieffen early access? They had the personal challenges. Or do you not remember which one? I know there was personal challenges for the Germans.
I think it was a Schlieffen. Don't quote me on that one.
Okay, but yeah, it's going to be the same way, but they'll be doing it for different categories, nation categories. So it'll be very, very cool indeed. It's a very cool little system just to try to push you to be able to get better matches or like work on certain nations. Now, a big one is the return of the USS Black. That is something that is a big, 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 big return. I want to get this ship really bad, so I'm glad they're adding it back. So there'll be a special event planned in June, during which you'll obtain the USS Black and earn various theme rewards. The event is going to be accompanied by a web campaign that will allow you to choose your own path through the Pacific theater of World War II in 1944 on a special map. And you can build a career for your own commander. As a reward for completing the campaign, you'll receive a U.S. commander with 12 skill points, which is very nice. And you can distribute some of the skill points by making choices right on the campaign map. Now, we'll be looking at the net. There will be a new map called the Faroe Islands. The Faroe Islands was selected by the players back in fall 2021, and it'll be coming out later this year, which is amazing. So we finally get a new map after all these years. Super happy with that, finally. Now, they're also going to be changing to the container tab. So I know some of you guys love to hoard all of your containers and get hundreds of them. And now you can actually select which specific container you want to open. So say you have yourself a super container and you don't want to open it. You can select your daily container instead. So you can start hoarding all those super containers or whatever containers you like and just open only certain ones. So very cool, very cool. Also, they'll be in the works of adding training missions for new players. So they'll be adding in like a tutorial style to World of Warships to help out new players instead of just throwing them out into randoms and co-op. They'll be getting training missions to help out new players to be able to teach them the basics so they're not just going in blindly being thrown into the wolves. Very nice. Also in the summer, some of you guys have already heard about this, but they're going to be separating the camos and the economic bonuses. As of right now, it's still in the works. It's still very vague, but pretty much how it's going to work is the economic bonuses will be their own separate thing, and the camos will be their own separate thing. So you can have whatever camo on you want, and you can add the bonuses to that camo. Pretty much, it's going to work just like it is now, where it takes out one camo, but instead it would take out one of the bonuses or the bonuses you have added. Now, some people are really worried that World of Warships is just going to make this like a money grab where they're going to lower the bonuses and whatnot. But from what we've seen from what they've shown us and the bonuses numbers, as of right now, it shows very positively. It's going to be a really good thing. It makes it where you don't have to worry about, like, there's a lot of people that you use these really ugly camos for their bonuses and you just don't want to use them. So now you can use really fancy camos that you really enjoy. I'm really excited about that. Now, one of the next things, which is one of the biggest things I'm excited about, is the changes to the battle camera. Now, if you all remember, you know, when you pop a spotter plane, it raises your camera up. And sometimes when you get close, when enemies get close to you, it makes it harder for you to aim at them. Well, now in the summer, hopefully they'll have this done. You can switch between the normal camera and the spotter camera, so you're able to be able to aim at like over islands with the spotter, or you can switch back to normal if you're fighting someone close. A huge factor there for competitive play, also for normal play as well. Very, very important indeed. And finally, they'll be doing the Independence Day update of the US Destroyer models. A lot of you guys all know that the models of the American Destroyers are really old, ever since the start of the game. So they'll be updating the models for the tier 7 through 10 destroyers, along with, and then they'll turn to the tier 2 and through 6 and the Sims as well. So the American Destroyers will be getting new models. Fantastic. Now, SAT score, what about the final for 2022? What do they have planned for that roadmap there?
All right. Sounds like Wargaming has a lot planned for summer. But as for fall, they haven't shared that much for us so far. So they've disclosed that they're going to develop the Japanese light cruiser. So what we know so far is that they'll have the 610 millimeter torpedoes, same as the destroyers, and their torpedo launchers will have wide aiming angles. As for the main batteries, the tier 5, tier 6 will have 6-inch guns, the tier 7 will have 6.1-inch guns, and the high tier 8 to 10 will have 150 millimeter dual purpose guns. We don't know much because Wargaming is still trying to figure out their concept. Next, we'll have the anniversary and improvements of battle performance bonuses. So, festive bonuses for battle performance. Basically, many players have very extensive ports, and getting rewards for battle performance on each ship can be very difficult and time-consuming. So they're going to rework the battle performance systems, so players with many ships in their ports can receive rewards from several ships per battle. I'm not sure how that can work either, but we'll see when summer or fall turns up. For Halloween, they've Wargaming noticed that the Halloween themes like Saving Transylvania and Sunray were very popular, so they're going to bring them back again for Halloween. On top of that, the submarine themed Operation Terror of the Deep was also another popular one, so they're considering bringing that back as well. And one of those fans includes me. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing how different Terror of the Deep is with the improving submarine mechanics. And finally, in addition to the Faroe Islands map that Bo talked about, they are going to work. They're going to plan on working on one more map. They don't have any details because it's at the preliminary design stage. So we'll know more about what they're going to do in the fall as times goes by. Do you have anything else to add, Bo?
Nope, that would be it. But yep, I do love when they show us these roadmaps. It does help keep the community engaged on what they want. I do wish they would talk a little bit more about submarines, but as of right now, we know submarines are still in the test phase, but hopefully they'll discuss them more whenever they actually give us more information on how the testing is going. But yep, that will be it. Thank you so much for your time at SAT Score. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here, brother. But yep, that will be it. I'll talk to y'all later. If you guys have any questions or concerns, definitely leave them down in the comments down below. And I will have this link for you guys in the description. So I will talk to you all later. Oh, big stretch, dude. Oh, big stretch. Yeah.